Right guys, I just thought I'd do a quick overview of the custom build. I can't call it a 30 degrees north truck anymore, and I can't call it a Losi 5T because it's neither really. It's just a fully custom fifth scale. I couldn't resist it. I know I was meant to just buy a 30 degrees north truck and do a few hop-ups just to make it a bit more bulletproof and enjoy bashing it, but I couldn't resist. Why should this be any different for unrooted RC workshops? So anyway, still remains a 30 degrees north body. I've actually put back on the Mad Max wheels and tyres. I was running for the first time these super spikes, BRP super spikes. They're amazing, really light wheel, handmade, super expensive, ridiculously expensive, but I'm just, for the time being, for tuning and for just you know, the first few runs, I put these Mad Max wheels back on because they work well, and if I want to do a bit of tuning on the tarmac on my road or whatever, I can do. I'll just switch it on briefly. So I have a little spot at the front, just one wee Pro Line spot at the front, which I quite like. I have got a Losi 5T bumper and lights, light buckets and lights coming in the post, so we'll see how far that gets me, but the magic really happens underneath here. So let me try and just lift this off. So I've kept all of the blooming tops of the packets here of some of the stuff I bought just to try and remind myself what I've put in, but we'll start at the front and we'll move to the back. So it's still a 30 degrees north bumper. I have got FID Racing steering knuckles. I can't remember which front hub carriers these are. I can't remember, I'm sorry. I don't think it's not coming back to me. These are JS Racing turnbuckles. It's an A-top top plate with Turtle Racing front and rear braces. I've got a dual steering setup, that's A-top as well, the bell crank. Still running the original plastic electronics tray in the original servos, nothing wrong with them, so I'll run them until they break and then do something about them. Modified RC center differential, Vertigo diff locker, so that's a lock diff in there, and an FID Racing throttle and brake servo brace. This is a reactive tuned G320 RC engine, so completely worked over, ported the lot, 32cc, and it's putting out on the dyno just over 8.1 or something horsepower. So it is double standard, almost double a standard G320. Crazy Stew air intake, all Vertigo, everything, clutch carrier, clutch housing, clutch bell, all Vertigo. A heavy duty clutch in there from the heavy duty clutches from FS Racing. Then moving back, we've got a FID pull start. If you haven't got an FID pull start on your fifth scale, just go out and buy one. Honestly, just amazing. There's no need to be just stood over it sweating. That thing does it all for you. It's brilliant. And then the what pipe is it? What pipe? I can't remember, but it's RC Max. It's RC Max, and it's been coated, ceramic coated, to keep the a bit more temperature in it. increased temperature, increased gas temperature, increased power in a nutshell. Moving further back, so front and back Pro-Am shock towers, front and back Pro-Am bulkheads, Pro-Am full chassis system for Losi 5T, and RC Max billet differentials front and rear. I will tell you what I'm running because it does seem to just work beautifully. I'm running a 20 weight diff oil in the back and I'm running a 60 weight diff oil in the front. Stock shocks, stock rear bumper and outerwear shock covers. I've also got an outerwear cover on the flywheel as well of the motor. Rear hubs are FID Racing as well. So yeah, all in all, it's a very cool piece of kit. I've done the first tune, literally the first tune. These motors, by the way, I have to say, it's a great motor. And Mike at RC Max UK has been brilliant. He's been on the end of the blower, not on the end of the blower, on the end of the email, available to answer questions. This is my first 5th scale build, so I did need some input from him and the guys at RC Max UK, RC Models. They've been very good as well. What I will say is these motors are meant to come pre-tuned. So all the carburetor settings have been maximized. You're meant to be able to drop one of these in and go, you know, racing, bashing, just drop it in and bang, you're off. And with this motor, it's a great motor and it's obviously been heavily worked on. All the porting, it's far more efficient than a standard motor. But the carburetor settings were completely out. So I did speak to Mike at RC Max UK. He will speak to the tuners. They must have been knocked, but to be honest, I don't know how they got knocked that badly, because the low needle was just over a quarter of a turn out, and the high needle was just over 3/4 of a turn out. So it was completely off, super lean, and just threw me off briefly, because you think, you know, it's been tuned, so you start. Well, I started just looking elsewhere, thinking, oh, the clutch is bogging or whatever it might be, and it just turned out to be a tuning issue. So I've put that right. I've put the first tune into her. I haven't given it a bash since getting the tune right. I did give it a bash and put the that bash briefly on YouTube, but the tune was not right, so it wasn't producing top revs. It wasn't producing top speed or power. So anyway, that is RC Unrooted RC Workshop's version of a Losi 5T. I just put the lid back on because I have to say I just put it back on loosely. It's not actually straight, but you'll forgive me. We'll just do it for effect. Oh yeah, FID hub wideners as well. It looks particularly cool with the BRP spikes on, because the wheels stick out even more. But I just want to get used to the tune and make sure the motor is happy, the engine is happy, and everything else is happy before I put those spikes back on. Not to mention the amount of grass that the spikes lift. I mean, it's absolutely caked after you've been out in the spikes, and it's not so bad with the Mad Maxes. So for now, it will run with Mad Maxes, but that's my build. That's my baby. That's what I'm gonna bash. So watch this space. I don't think it's completely out of the question to start wondering whether or not a new RC Max 50 GT motor is not going to end up in this. But you know, it's got to be a limit somewhere, right? Maybe not. Anyway, happy Sunday, everybody.